Hey everyone, my name is Ronak, back with another video. This is 26th video in the Getting Started with the Machine Learning playlist, and in this video you are going to learn sensitivity and specificity along with the false positive rate. Okay, so FPR I have not mentioned, but we are going to also learn that for our next tutorial. So what is sensitivity and specificity? So now this topic is completely linked with the topic of the confusion matrix and type 1 and type 2 errors. So please do check that in advance because those are the prerequisites for this tutorial. So this is a generalized confusion matrix diagram for the binary classification problem, where if I have both the positives, we get true positive, 1 and 0. So this is a false, and 0 in the predicted gives us false negative. Similarly, 0 and 1 is again false, and in the in the predicted section we have 1 which gives us false positive, and we have 0 and 0 finally which are true negative. So there are some of the concepts known as actually there are the type 1 and type 2 error. We will come to that later, but for now we will look at the concepts of the sensitivity. So this is also known as the true positive rate, or many people also call it as recall. Okay, recall and precision, please don't try to confuse those topics with this one. I would like to keep them completely independent of what we are learning over here. Okay, so I have already covered precision, recall and F1 score earlier. I think those are, let's say, some 13 to 15th number videos. All right, yeah, 13 to 15 in this playlist itself, Getting Started with the Machine Learning. So sensitivity is a measure of all the positive rates in the actual positive values. All right, so the way it works is by this formula. Okay, so which is TPR, that stands for true positive rate, which is also known as sensitivity, and also some people would like to call it as recall. So the formula is true positives divided by true positives plus false negatives. Okay, so it is a measure of all the positive values, the true positive values in the section of the actual positive value. Then we have something known as specificity. So this is specifically going to give you the true negative values with respect to the negative actual values. So the formula of this goes like, I'm extremely sorry. Actually, it is supposed to be here specificity. Okay, there is a typo. This is not FPR. Okay, sorry for the typo. So this is specificity. So this is specifically going to give you the true negative values with respect to the actual negative values. Okay, so you have negative values, so there are going to be the false positives. So we are only going to consider the ratio of the true negative values. Okay, the negative values that we have in our data set. Now this is actually going to be used, I'll tell you how. And then there is known as something as false positive rate. Okay, FPR. Now this is going to be a prerequisite video for our next video, that is the receiver operator characteristics curve along with the area under curve. Okay, so ROC curve and AUC, you might have heard of this. So those are also very important machine learning concepts that we are going to look, and this video is a prerequisite for those. So this is FPR, false positive rate. So this is going to give me the false positive ratio with the actual negative values. Okay, with respect to the negative values, I'm going to get the false positive ratio. And the way we do it is by this formula. Okay, so that is actually FPR is equal to 1 minus the true negatives divided by true negatives plus false positives. Okay, which is also known as FPR is equal to 1 minus specificity. So the formula of the specificity itself is true negatives by true negatives plus false positives, which is basically a measure of the true negative values among the negative values. And when I subtract it from 1, I get the false positive rate, obviously. Okay, this is very, very trivial because the false positives are already there with us, and I want to specifically find out the false positives. And the final formula that we get, if you want to specifically mention the formula for the FPR, it is false positives by true negatives plus false positives. Alright, so I am taking the ratio of the false positives with respect to the actual negative values. So this is how it works. Now, how we actually use this? Okay, so why I was covering, let's say, the type 1 and type 2 error earlier in the earlier videos. Let us get to that. So the reason I was covering those things is because I'm specifically trying to show you what can be the use of these things. All right, so specificity, see, you cannot get rid of the type 1 or type 2 error. Okay, it is impossible. You cannot get rid of it getting rid of it is very, very hard. Okay, you can reduce it to a certain extent so that it doesn't interfere with your current work, but you cannot get rid of those. Okay, that is very, very hard. Many statisticians are working very hard to do that, and if there might be some techniques that I'm not aware of, please do mention those in the comment box. But as far as my knowledge, I would say that it is very hard to get rid of those. So you cannot get rid of them, but you can reduce them to a certain extent. See, if I increase the specificity, I can lower down the type 1 error, all right, which is the false positives. I can get it to reduce. So those are basically inversely proportional with each other. All right, again I have a typo over here. Okay, so this is not FPR, this is specificity. Please understand this. Okay, so this is specificity. I had again written FPR. Okay, so that is not FPR. So I can increase the specificity of my algorithm in order to lower down the type 1 error. So type 1 error is a type of error where, let's say you have an actual mail which is not a spam, but it is classified as a spam and put into the spam folder. Okay, so this is a loss of information. This is very, very vulnerable, because a person might be having a mail from, let's say, their bank, or let's say their it is about their job, or it is about their college, or it can be anything. Okay, it can be very, very crucial, and the algorithm is actually considering it as a spam even though it is not, and putting it into the spam folder. So that is where the type 1 error should be handled. See, type 1 and type 2 error are completely, I would say, subjective in my opinion. You can have both of them, but one is always going to be a dominant one which you have to control according to the problem. All right, so reducing them is the most important task, I would say, for a data scientist, because when I work on, let's say, any of the algorithm, if you can, let's say, use scikit and you can just get things done, that is not actually the work. Okay, so the actual work that is associated with, let's say, the machine learning model is the analysis part. That is what separates you as, let's say, a professional data scientist and a rookie developer. All right, so that is the difference, because I can code a lot of things in the sklearn, but it wouldn't matter if I'm not able to keep track of the things of what I want. All right, so coming back to the point, type 1 error is supposed to go down in such the scenarios. Okay, I don't really bother about, let's say, if this is a cancer patient cancer classification. All right, and let's say the person does not have any cancer, but the system tells that the person has cancer. Okay, the person might panic, go to the hospital, get some tests done. All right, and after a few period, the person is actually not having the cancer, so the report is going to come false. So this is not a risk zone. All right, a spam folder is a very risk zone, so I have to avoid it. So the type 1 and type 2 error are very, very subjective with respect to the problem statement. Please understand that. Now coming back to, let's say, the sensitivity, which is the true positive rate, or many people also would like to call it recall. Okay, this is where you have to handle the type 2 error. Okay, you are actually looking forward to reduce the type 2 error so that it doesn't interfere with your work. Okay, this is where, let's say, some person is, let's say, COVID positive, and the system says that the person is COVID negative. Okay, so the person is happy, all right, but they don't know the repercussions of this thing, because let's say if their symptoms are at a very lower level and the person does not take an action, the symptoms might aggravate and he or she might get into trouble. Okay, because they are trusting your product, and you have to be very, very sure of the information that you're providing them. In this scenario, type 2 error needs to be handled at any cost. Okay, so this is where the sensitivity of your system needs to be very, very high. See here, if let's say there is actually a spam, my mail is, let's say, actually a spam, and my system says it is not a spam, what would happen? Okay, what would happen? Unless it is trying to harm your system, it is not as important as the cancer problem, or let's say COVID problem, because when someone's life is at stake, you have to be very, very cautious. So in that scenario, type 2 error needs to be handled at the best level. All right, so sensitivity should be very high so that the type 2 error is going to be low. So this is inversely proportional. Looking at the example that we have, this is my confusion matrix. All right, so I have 0 0, that is true negative, 0 1, that is false positive, 0 1, again false positive, 1 1 1 1 1 1, which is true positive. All right, so this is my, let's say, some of the XYZ algorithm that is trying to predict all this stuff. So here I don't have any false negatives. So if this is a cancer problem, I'm very cool with it. Okay, I actually wouldn't have to panic a lot about this because my system is doing my job very well. Okay, I have 0 false negatives. I'm least concerned. Okay, so type 2 error is 0 over here. But let's say if this is a spam folder thing, I would actually be concerned because out of the 6 values, or I'm sorry, actually out of 6 values, 2 values are falsified. Okay, so I have to take care of the thing. So here, if I want to calculate the specificity of this algorithm, which is true negative by true negative plus false positive, and with respect to the algorithm, I can get it as 33%. Alright, so here I need to increase my specificity to a certain degree so that I can lower down the type 1 error. Please understand it. Alright. Similarly, if I am considering, let's say, sensitivity, where I'm concerned about the false negatives, I don't have to care a lot. Alright, I'm not concerned about the true positive. I'm not concerned about the, let's say, the false negatives because it is already 0. It is already 0. Okay, so my sensitivity of the algorithm is already 100%. So if this is a cancer problem, I'm least concerned. Okay, because I know my system works very well. Finally, we have the false positive rate. Okay, which is where 1 minus the, let's say, this specificity. Alright, I'm trying to calculate the specificity because I am concerned with, let's say, the true negative values. So this is where I get this formula, the FPR, which is false positive by true negatives plus false positives, and this is something I get, okay, which is 66.67%. so this is a very generalized, okay, actually it is 66.6666 and so long. All right, so I am actually trying to avoid this. So this is where my FPR I get as 66%. Okay, so it holds much more dominance as compared to, let's say, the specificity part. So this is where I have to work on the specificity. Please understand this. All right, so this is it about the today's tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn the ROC and AUC curve, and these are going to be prerequisites. Okay, so that thing completely works on the FPR and TPR. So I hope you might have learned something or the other from this tutorial. And if you like my content, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video. So this is it, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.